Hello students, in this video we are going to study the remaining part of the chapter number 10. The chapter name is Motion and Measurement of Distance. Class 6, Subject Science NCERT. In the previous videos, let me recall what we had seen in those videos of this chapter. So in the previous videos of this chapter, we had seen that long ago people did not have any means of transport and they used to move only on foot and carry goods either on their back or they were using the animals. For transport along water routes, they were using boats in ancient times. Then after we had seen that invention of the wheel made a great change in the mode of transport, and the invention of steam engine introduced a new source of energy. Then after railroads were made for steam engine driven carriage and wagons. Later the automobiles came and motorized boats and ships were used as the means of transport on the water routes. And we had seen that the early years of 1900 saw the development of aeroplane. Then after we had seen what is the contribution of 20th century, so electric trains, monorails, supersonic aeroplane and spacecraft are some of the 20th century contributions. Then we had seen that in ancient times people used length of a footstep, then after length of handspan, that means the distance between the tip of the thumb and the little finger, and the distance of a step as the units of measurement. And this caused the confusion and there is the need arise to develop a uniform system of measurement. So now the standard uniform system for measurement is there. So now we use the international system of unit, that means SI unit, and this is accepted by all over the world. Then after we had seen that a meter is the SI unit of length, other than that centimeter and millimeter are the smaller units of the length. Then we had seen that each meter is divided into 100 equal divisions, which is known as the centimeter. And each centimeter has 10 equal divisions, which is known as the millimeters. So we can say that 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeter and 1 centimeter is equal to 10 millimeter. And 1 meter is equal to 1000 millimeters. Then after we had seen that for measuring large distance, meter is not convenient unit, so we defined a larger unit of length which is known as the kilometer. So 1 kilometer is equal to 1000 meter that we had seen. Then after we had seen that we use a thread to measure the length of a curved line, and an object is said to be in motion if it changes its position with respect to a fixed point in a given time interval. So these are the things we had seen in the previous videos of this chapter. Now let me see the different types of the motion from where we left. So next topic in the chapter is types of motion. So types of motion, you may have observed the motion of a vehicle on a street road, or march past of the soldier in the parade, or then after falling of a stone. So what kind of this motion is this? Here you can see in the figure, the vehicles are moving along the straight road. Then after the soldiers are march passing in a parade. Then after the motion or falling of a stone from the height. So other than that, sprinters in a 100-meter race, they are also moving along a straight line. Sprinters, that means the players, in a 100-meter race, they are also move along a straight track. So can you think of more such example from your surrounding which are moving in a straight line? Like a train is also moving along the straight line or along the straight track. So these are some of the examples in which we see that the objects move along a straight line or they are moving in the straight line. So this type of motion is known as the rectilinear motion. So this kind of motion is known as the rectilinear motion, in which the objects move along a straight line. So this is the first type of motion, that is rectilinear motion. Now next type is, let me see by this one activity. For that, activity number 7 is given to you. For that you require a stone. Then after tie this stone with the help of thread and reel it with your hand. That means rotate this stone with the help of your hand and observe the motion of this stone. What is the motion of this stone? We see that the stone moves along the circular path. That means this stone is moving in the circular path, and in this motion the distance of this stone from your hand remains the same. So this type of motion is known as the circular motion, in which the objects are moving in the circular path. So this kind of motion are known as the circular motion. Here some other examples are also shown to you. In this figure you can see that this bullock is irrigating the field, or it is rotating in a circular path along this road. So this is also an example of circular motion. Then after in this figure B, you can see that wind van is there, in which this arrow is moving along this circular path, or moving in the circular path along this road. Then after in the fan, the blades of the fan is also moving in a circular path. So the motion of a point mark which is marked on the blade of an electric fan or the hands of the clock are example of circular motion. In the clock also, the hands of the clock are moving in a circular path. If you will make the mark on any of the blade of the fan or any of the hand of the clock, then after the motion of that point which we had marked on that is moving in a circular path. So that motion is kind of circular motion. So the electric fan or a clock by themselves are not moving from one place to another, but the blades of the fan, it will rotate, and so do the hands of the clock also. They are also moving in the circular motion, so that we can say that they are in the motion. So if we mark a point anywhere on the blades of a fan or the hands of a clock, then the distance of this point from the center of the fan or the clock will remain the same as they rotate. So that means they are moving in the circular path. So that motion is known as the circular motion. So this is the another type of motion in which the objects are moving in a circular path. That is circular motion. Now next step, let me see. In some of the cases, an object repeats its motion after time. In some of the objects, some part of that object rotate, or it changes a motion, or it repeats its motion after some time. So this kind of motion is known as the periodic motion. Like take a stone which is tied with a string which we had used in the previous activity number 7. Then after hold this string in your hand and let this stone hang from it, and this will become a pendulum. Here you can see this kind of structure. This can be your thread, and then after this round circular structure, this can be your stone. So place or hold the stone with the help of thread like this, and then after pull this stone to the one side and the other end let it go off. So now the pendulum is in the motion. We can say that our pendulum is in motion, and it is the example of the periodic motion in which the pendulum, or you can say stone, repeats its motion after some time. Other than that, branch of a tree which is moving to and fro, that means branch of the tree which is moving in the forward direction, in the backward direction. So that is also the example of periodic motion. Other than that, motion of a child sitting on the swing. If you are sitting on the swing, then your motion is also a periodic motion. And string of a guitar, then after membrane of a drums being played, that means the drum, this one is the membrane of the drum. So the movement of this membrane of the drums are also the examples of the periodic motion, where an object or the part of the objects, here the figures are shown to you, it repeats its motion after a fixed interval of time. So these all are the examples of the periodic motion. Here in the first picture you can see that girl is sitting on the swing. So the motion of the swing is a periodic motion. Then after here in the clock, the motion of this pendulum is also periodic. Then after the string of the guitar is also in the periodic motion. Then after, this bell is also in the periodic motion, and the membrane of the tabla, or you can say drums, is also in the periodic motion. Here Bujo is saying something, that Bujo is not sure why we say that the distance of the stone from your hand is the same when we whirl it around. In the circular motion, in the activity number 7, we say that the distance of the stone from the hand, that means if this your stone is moving like this and your hand is this, then the distance of this stone from this your hand is equal in this case when we are rotating it. So now can you help me understand that why this distance is same? And remember, while that the stone is held with this string, or stone is tied with this string, because when the stone is moving around your hand in the circular motion, this will become a circular, or the path will become a circular. So in circle we know that your hand will become the center of the circle, and in circle we know that from any point to the distance from any point on the circle to the center, it will remain the same, that means it will become the radius. So here in the case of thread and stone, the thread or the length of the thread will become the radius of the circular path of the stone. So this distance will remain same all the times. If you are taking the point over here, then the distance from this point to the center, it will also remain the same. So the distance always remains the same when we are reeling the stone in our hand, which is tied with the thread. So this is about the 3 different types of motion, that is rectilinear motion, circular motion and periodic motion. So now let me see, did you observe that swing machine is a part of activity 5? You must have observed that it remains at the same location while any point of its wheel moves with a circular motion. The swing machine cannot change its position on its own, but some parts of the swing machine, it will change its position, or we can say they are in the motion, or they are moving from or any point on that part, it is moving from one place to another place. Like the wheels of the swing machine are in the circular motion, it also has the needle which moves in the upward direction, then after downward direction, and it will move like this continuously. So this is also in the motion. We can say that needle is in the periodic motion. After some time or after some time period, it will repeat its motion. So we can say in swing machine different types of motion we can say see, that is circular motion and periodic motion. So have you observed closely the motion of a ball along the ground? If you are moving, or if you are pushing the ball on the ground, then did you observe what is the motion of this ball? So here the ball is rolling on the ground and rotating as well as moving forward along the ground. That means the ball has the rotation also, it is rotating and it is also moving forward on the ground. So we can say that the ball undergoes a rectilinear motion as it is going forward, as well as the rotational motion. It also has the rotational motion because it is rotating. So now can you think of other example where the objects undergoes the combination of different types of motion? So yes, here we had already seen, that is about the clock, this kind of clock having the pendulum. So here in the clock you can see that the hands of the clocks are moving in the circular motion, or they are moving in the circular path. So we can say that the hands of the clock are in the circular motion, whereas this pendulum is in the periodic motion because it is repeating its motion after some time interval. So here you can also see 2 different types of motion, that is circular motion and then after periodic motion. So this is also such kind of example. Now we did many measurement activities and we had also discussed some kinds of different motions. We saw that the motion is a change in the position of any object with the time. So this is what motion, it is the change in position with respect to time, and the change in the position can be determined through the distance measurement. So now we had also seen that the change in the position we can measure or we can find that with the help of distance measurement, and this allows us to know that how fast or how slow the motion is. That means how slow or how fast the position of that object is changed. And the movement of snail on the ground, then after a butterfly fleeting, or you can say flying from flower to flower, a river which is flowing, an aeroplane flying, moon going around the earth, and the blood which is flowing inside our body, shows that there is the motion everywhere around us. So the motion is there everywhere around us where we are finding these different kinds of objects. So there is the everywhere the motion is there. So here our chapter number 10, that is motion and measurement of distance, gets over. Here the keywords for this chapter is given to you, that is circular motion, distance, next is measurement, then after next is motion, periodic motion, then after next one is rectilinear motion, SI units, the last one is units of measurement. So these hard words you have to write in your notebook before writing the exercise. And now let me see the summary of this chapter. So in this chapter we had seen that different modes of transport are used to go from one place to another place. And in ancient times people use a length of foot, then after the width of a finger, the distance of a step as the units of measurement, and this caused confusion and a need to develop the uniform system of measurement arise. And now we use the international system of units, that is SI unit system, and this is accepted all over the world. Then we had seen that the meter is the unit of length in SI units, and we had also seen the conversion of its smaller and in the larger units. The next we had seen in this chapter, that is motion in a straight line, is called the rectilinear motion. In circular motion, an object moves such that its distance from a fixed point remains the same. So that is known as the circular motion, and the motion that repeats itself after some period of time is known as the periodic motion. So these are the different types of motions we had seen in this chapter. So here our chapter number 10 gets over. In the next video, we will solve the textbook exercise for this chapter. Thank you.